David Swain's our demonstrator this evening. David, you're on with us, and David's going to do a little something for us tonight. David, talk to us, and we will link up on you.
There he is.
All right, on the spotlight. Oh, look, folks, members, before we start into this, David is doing the demonstration. If you have questions about the demonstration, please ask. If you have comments or ideas, hold them to the end and we'll all share them together. So right now, David is spinning wood. Go, David.
All right, well, I wanted to bring up, you were talking about the brass fittings. This one is a 4 1/4 inch platform shower drain brass. It's great for big urns. You can turn it easily to get your threads. And this is a closet spud. It's a 2-incher by 2-incher. You can use these for the medium sized or even small urns. I buy them on eBay. I'm a cheapskate. But yeah, I've made several urns out of them already, and they work really, really well. So I just wanted to sneak that in there. Hopefully you can hear my audio. Okay.
Hear you.
Okay.
You're all good.
I've got the screen behind me, so it's hard for me to hear sometimes. I already went ahead and put a parting line in this little box. And I'll just get it off here. Now, I'm a devotee of Richard Raffin, so a lot of this, some of you probably have seen him do. But I probably don't do it as well as he does.
Now, new members, if you're not familiar with this, the lathe David is using is called a Swain Special. Yes, Swain Special. It's available when your other lathe breaks down and you need to have a lathe, you build your own. Right, David?
Yep, especially since your new one, the company canceled your warranty on.
Yeah.
But once I get parted off, when I clean up the front edge, I put a 1 to 2 degree taper inward. That's going to help the edges meet up when you finally put the two pieces together. And it doesn't have to, it's like 1 to 2 degrees is all it is. It doesn't take very much. And then I just, I usually just drill or hollow with my 3/8 gouge. It's not hard. Fun. All right. What's with you today? I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera here. If you're wondering why this is vibrating so much, there's a nice crack in this thing I'm trying to turn out. Good. that edge has to be perfectly straight. Otherwise the lid won't fit for long. It just has to be from top to bottom of that lip. Oh, it's pretty close. Geez, my eyes are better than I thought they were. Yep. Okay, that's good. Now, normally, I have to maybe start with 220, do this part of the lid here, sand lightly inside this first section. Do not use sandpaper on this lip that I turned. You'll tend to make it go oval, and it will no longer have straight edges. Then I use my abrasive paste and carnauba wax. That's about all I use on these. That one's a little rough. I don't know why. Come on. Now, you get to that point, the secret to these boxes with the lids fitting is this one. The lid will be used to mark the base. And I don't know, Safety Sue might get on me. I leave tools laying all over my lathe. They stay to hand.
Fortunately,
Sue says if you have a nice burden of shavings under it, so they, they drop on something soft.
Well, generally, if it's a sharp tool, it lands on the top of my foot. That's why I wear thick leather shoes. A guy on one of the groups named Bill Woolley left his very sharp skew laying on the lathe, and it came off the lathe due to vibration, and I believe it was 5 or 6 stitches in his leg, right in the foreleg, where it sliced into him, and proving it was very sharp.
Yep, I seen that on Facebook. That happened just this week.
Yeah, and I don't like skews anyhow, and that just gives me another reason to leave mine in the rack.
I dropped mine once and cut the power cord to the lathe. Talk about sparks.
I'm aging fast enough. I don't need anything to hurry it on. I just clean up the face on these. I hand drill these. I don't bother using setting up a chuck and all that. It just takes way too much time. And sometimes I'm making these 6, 7 at a time. I've kind of picked up Richard Raffin's production techniques. Come on. There. Yeah, by the way, I get asked all the time if my lathe's still running. So I'll have to tell them to ask one of you guys to verify it still runs.
I just check Facebook all the time. If they charge per picture, you'd be broke.
And now they can just check YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually had to slow down because after compiling 575 pieces stacked all over the house, the light is starting to say slow down. So I can't turn 4 or 5 pieces again every day, or otherwise I might be getting out here, meetings included. Yeah, I've got, well, it's 575 and counting stacked all over the house. I got a little carried away. Next time I'll pick one without a crack. I'm not standing where I normally would. Now I get to turn that little lip. About 1/4 inch. Again, you're only putting a 1 to 2 degree paper, and you're going to be constantly testing to make sure this fits on there properly. Look the other way, Sue.
My eyes are beady right now.
Stu can't take a blind eye to safety.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Another bad production habit. Come on, dude. Okay. A little bit more. I'll slow it down. What I'm wanting to do is put the lid on. It would normally be waxed. And you leave a mark. And it's not very clear without the wax. It's right at the edge. When you go to fit the lid, you don't touch this outer part. You take the corner of your skew, or in my case, I made a tool for doing these. You cut from the back edge and come forward very, very carefully to where your mark is, to where the wood was touching. That'll give you a pot fit where you got a suction fit. Now, I've found with customers, the few that have bought them, they don't like a suction fit because it's too hard to get off. So I usually make them looser. But actually, to do them properly, they should have a suction fit to them. And
yeah, I make suction fits for other wood turners and
Yes.
looser fits for customers.
yeah, because I usually get this, can you loosen this up? And luckily I use vacuum chucks. I've got a small one I can put a box back in and take 400 grit sandpaper and just carefully sand until it's just a loose fit. And then I re-wax. I really don't like doing that though. I'm kind of proud of my suction fits, but customers are customers. and the customer's always right.
You're right.
Just a little too tight. Yep, there we go. That way it'll stay on while you do your retouching of the outside profile. The last thing. All right, come on. Yeah, Dave, you did a good job on that. It ain't gonna come off while you're doing work. There. I usually put some tape around it when I go to do my inserts. I do a lot of those with cherry burl, maple burl. I've got a small piece of cherry burl that I make these up ahead of time. They're usually anywhere from 2 inch, 2 3/16 inch diameter. Oh, quarter, 5/16 thick. And I can inlay them into the lids. And my way of doing it is I would, come on, I'm gonna pinch my finger. I make a jam chuck for this inside. Oh, we might get to see an explosion. I jam chuck the bottom at the very end and remove the tenon. The top, I don't need to make a jam chuck because I'm going to do everything from this point on. That would stay on there. I fixed the profile. I usually round the edges over, put in my insert. And the last thing before I finish the inside, I gotta do something with that, is I touch this edge up to where it comes on an awful lot easier. I'm gonna see if I can finish hollowing this without it coming apart. Oh, I hope so.
You'll be fine.
Good thing you can't see my face. Ooh, that's why it's making so much noise. That had a crack inside that I never saw. Ooch, ooch, ooch. Let's see first. Nope, still a little tight. Yeah, I hear you. Changes. There, maybe that's better. Yeah, There we go. Didn't think I had it that tight. There. Now that's the way I usually make them, is just enough suction. When it's waxed, it'll come off fairly easy. Ladies don't like them that way. They claim it's too difficult to get them on and off when they're in a hurry. I don't know why. Ouch, ouch, ouch. These are supposed to be good sellers. I don't know, not in my neighborhood, but I enjoy making them. Yep, sing to me. just need to get this doesn't have to be perfectly flat. You just don't want a dome in the center. Otherwise, you won't get a good glue matchup. A little more. I don't know how many times I've had to redo the insert because I got a little carried away. Yep. We're taking chances. Oh, I'm so close. Yeah, this is where you don't want to hiccup or sneeze. Otherwise, you have to do it all over. And if you wonder why I've got the dropsies, is my dog gave me bursitis of the right elbow, and I managed to catch my other elbow on the edge of a chainsaw. It wasn't running, but I caught the blade and I looked like I got fed to a lawnmower. So I tend to lose my hold on things. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Come on. I've had a lot of people ask me if I use wood glue on these or if I use CA. I just use CA glue. I don't see any reason having to wait an hour or 2 hours. The CA glue, it won't come loose if this is fit right to where it's kind of a wedge effect. Once you push it in there, it's not going to come out. It's going to expand and contract. Burl's real good about that. It will maintain its shape better. Where you at? Short ball. All right, where's the top? I'm trying not to bore you folks too much here. I'm sure.
Not boring me.
For wood turners, watching wood turning, there ain't nothing such as being bored.
Well, at least now you folks are getting to see my contraption in operation. And it's, I have yet to figure out a quick change system or quick lock system for the banjo and the tailstock. I just wind it in with my hammer. Just want to make sure it's seated all the way around. Yeah, you were talking about safety and about wearing a face shield. I got another good reason to wear one. I was working on another project last night, and I had CA glued a crack in the wood, and it sat for about 3 hours. And I thought, gee, this ought to be just fine. Well, I didn't put on my safety glasses and I didn't put on my face shield. Shame on me. And just barely touched it with the spindle gouge. And I glued my left eye shut. It's amazing how quick that stuff dries when it hits moisture. Took me about 40 minutes to get my eye unglued so I could see out of it. I don't know why it hadn't. Starbond. I don't know why it didn't seal like it should have, or harden like it should have. But I have to learn things the hard way usually. Do dumb things.
We don't learn by our mistakes. What will we learn?
Well, I try not to make the most serious ones. I have to admit, I've had a few experiences on the lathe, safety-wise. None of them involving my eyes. That really scared me. That I could picture myself having a permanently glued left eye, because you can't put acetone on your eyeball and you can't put the debonder on your eyeball. I finally used straight Dawn dishwashing detergent and scalding hot washcloths. And I finally got it loose enough to where I could peel it back open, and lost about half my eyelashes on that eye. But luckily it didn't hurt the eyeball itself. I had a sanding disc come off power sanding about 2 months ago. And I had safety glasses on, and it was a freak. The sanding disc come off the pad, and the lathe flicked it up toward my face. It went right up under the safety glasses and under the eyelid of my right eye, grit down. A couple hours in the eye doctor's office, and, fixed everything right up. I'm now looking for a Trend Pro Air Shield. I'm tired of getting hurt. Let's see if I can do it, stay out of the camera. Well, I won't use that word. My fault. No, it's still there. All right, there it is. Yeah, I don't know if Richard Raffin ever watches this Zoom meetings. I've had conversations with him by email, asking questions when I was wanting to learn all this about boxes. And he's probably shaking his head, wondering who he was talking to. It's not doing too bad. By the way, Eddie, I've got something besides bowls and vases coming up pretty soon.
What might that be, sir?
I've decided to get artistic. I'm designing some, or basically doing reproductions of some ancient Asian type pottery designs. And even with my shaky hands, I'm hand painting the decorations on them. I'll put them on Worldwide Woodturners first before I put them anywhere else.
All right, thank you.
Well, I'll give you guys first chance to laugh. I mean, some of you might remember my Minoan drinking vessels and things, my octopus. My hands have got a lot worse since then. I'm still going to try. Okay, that's the insert. Rounded over and sanded. I can do that, I guess. It won't block the camera. I usually put a bead around these, 1/8" bead, just to, I don't know, kind of a decoration to, I don't know, that looks too much like a painted on piece or something. No, this is. Oh yeah. Get this tape off. Yeah, now I see where the crack come through on the bottom. This particular wood come out of a walnut tree that was killed by Roundup. The gentleman with the low IQ was using straight Roundup by the gallon around the base of this tree. And it definitely died. And it also has definitely got, I turned a vase not too long ago and I could actually smell the Roundup. And which was not pleasant. Should have used my blue tape. So you're not allowed to run your lathe or anything, Eddie?
Not at this time. Nope.
Somebody was asking, I forget who it was. Somebody on one of the groups was asking about that. That's too bad. It's
What you got to do some days, and that's what I got to do. So we bounce back. It's been 8 years since the big Tuma thing, and we've bounced back from that. And we're just going to keep bouncing. That's it. No problem.
well, I wish you all the best because there's a lot of people that watch for you all the time.
Thank you. I'm not going away. I'm just got to tone it down. That's all.
That's what my wife tells me, but it has nothing to do with turning.
Should have seen the face when I told the guy I did 600 YouTube videos over the years. You did what? So, you know, that maybe sparked it up.
I've never done an actual YouTube. A couple of people have told me I should, but I don't think I'm ready for that. I have to polish my style a little bit. I violate too many rules. That's why I don't post too many videos on the groups anymore. I used to do ones like I'm doing now, and I put them on groups. But I was getting in way too much trouble, so I just quit. When I get to turning, I unfortunately have a bad habit of not thinking about anything except the turning. And I don't even notice if I forget to put on safety glasses or a face shield. Plus, when I'm turning where the wood's getting really hot, where I'm hollowing, I have a gel glove I wear on my left hand. It protects burn scars and the fact I had to have my thumb reattached because of a table saw accident. Well, I know gloves aren't good around a lathe, but these are fingerless gel gloves. And I just caught too much static from it. I don't think, I just want to do my thing and get the project done, whatever. And I usually get reminded very quickly. Plus, I have some tools that are not regulation that gets me in trouble too. So I understand they don't want me showing new turners bad habits. So
We don't either.
Huh?
We wouldn't like that either.
Well, I don't do it intentionally. It's just I'm not thinking about that aspect. I'm thinking about the turning, and sometimes I forget what tool I'm using. And I do mentor some people, surprisingly, by PM, and I do make it a point to tell them the safety aspects. If I see them or they're asking me about doing something dangerous, I will be the first one to tell them, don't do it. This is what's going to happen if you do. So I don't want them to learn the hard way. Because sometimes the hard way costs you part of your body. And I found that out. I'm surprised how many lady turners don't put their hair back. I know you folks can't see me, but I have a long ponytail. I'm one of the old headbangers from the 60s. That I never forget. I have seen what happens when long hair meets revolving machinery. High school kid got his ponytail caught in a drill press. He looked like he was joining an Indian group. He had a huge bald patch on one side of his head. Took all the hair right out. Scalping. I don't mind though. If people call me out on it, they see me doing something wrong. I understand. Sometimes I smoke a cigar when I'm at the lathe. I've been called on that. A lot of times it's just hanging out of my mouth. It's not lit. I'm trying to quit cigars. And it's like I'll stick one in my mouth unlit. Just to pacify the urge. My wife says I go insane when I try and quit smoking. I didn't know I had that far to go. Why did I do that? And I noticed some of you will probably notice I'm turning fairly fast with my sanding. I got in the habit of doing that quite a while ago. I found myself making more scratches than less by going slower. It's like I was hesitating. And so I started speeding up the lathe a little bit, and I'm getting a lot less deep scratches, just the finer ones to get out. Now this, please. This is where the bottom and the top meet. See if I can see that. Yeah, there it is. Because it won't show up at real high speed. By the way, this is a D-way feeding tool. They make them from 1/16 up to 1/2. And these things are slicker than sliced bread. I love these things. Super easy to make a bead. I've done a lot of basket illusion stuff, and after you do about 6,300 squares, you qualify to be an insane and blind. All right, I'll leave that on here. That's the two beads that meet. There. This is abrasive paste I make myself. The stuff around here, our woodcraft is, if it carries anything, it's way more expensive than you'll find elsewhere. Ours tends to be very high priced. Your finger. Mm-hmm. There. Just everyday toothbrush. The only way I found other than popsicle sticks to get the excess out of the grooves. And sometimes the popsicle stick, if you aren't careful, it burns. Kind of like a hot wire type deal. Man, I had it 67 degrees in here when I started this. It is now probably about 80 in here. Wow. I don't like summer. Living here in Northwest Ohio is an experience that I could do without.
David, where do you live at?
Northwest Ohio, little town called Fayette, aka DFE.
Fayette.
If I'd have known what this town was like when we were looking at this house, I wouldn't have moved here. I think there's a country western song that says stuck in the 50s. That's what these people are. They're stuck in the 50s. Okay, there's the lid with the burl in it, the bead, and it's all polished and waxed. Now you know why I didn't go any deeper. I didn't realize that big crack was in that wood. It doesn't show on the outside. Oh, God, I'm glad it didn't blow up. I'll just do a square lip on this so I can do the bottom. Sometimes I can get it to fit in my chuck. Sometimes. That's something that making these boxes, they can kind of get addictive. I've got, I think I got about 210 of those on shelves sitting around here of various sizes, some of them pretty large. You could store spaghetti in them. My wife just don't see the humor in it though. Yeah, I'm not going to take that all the way to the bottom because I don't want to demonstrate a blow up. That crack. I didn't know it was there. Let's see if it's just will it make it. I'll be darned. It's gonna hold. Too much overhang.
Dave, can you tell us what speed you're turning at?
What speed? I'm at 850 right now. I can't see my RPM thing sitting at 325.
Yeah, what if yours had RPMs or not? I can't hear you.
I have two pulleys that I can use. Right now I'm running on what I call my low speed pulley. It goes from 250 to 850. Then if like I'm doing my basket illusion beading, I switch over to the 4-inch pulley, and that one will go upwards of 3,000. I usually turn beads at 2,000. You get a cleaner cut in the wood, but normally I won't use that. Bowls, well, I've got some bowls I do 1,500 on, but hollowing I'm usually about 600-700. So I usually stay on the low pulley. So this goes up to 850. That's plenty fast. It's enough to get you in trouble if you got a crack like on this one. It'll definitely get you in trouble. Yeah, it's not. I've had only a couple of blow-ups. I had one piece, well, probably about 5-6 pounds, hit me dead in the sternum at about 600 RPM. I was scared to death I was going to have the hiccups for 3 or 4 days after that, because that would have hurt. Yeah, it hit hard, really bad.
And what's the grit sandpaper you're using?
I start at 100, go to 120, 180, 220, not at 400, so I'm going to 500. I end up at 600. It's there's a jumping grits there toward the end, but I need to make an order to Cling Spores to get me some more of this bargain box Velcro back sandpaper. I really like it. It works really, really well. And if I get in a jam and need some disc, I can punch out or cut some 2-inch oversized disc to put on my pads until I can get my next order. Because usually my pads, they're 2-inch pads, but I use 2 3/8 disc on them for the overlap. I usually buy the scalped ones from Woodturner's Wonders. The green wave, they've been working really well. By the way, these little pieces of pad, they're a white polishing pad that automotive shops use for polishing new paint jobs. There's no grit on them. They're just woven, I don't know, I guess nylon, I guess. I use them for applying the abrasive paste. There's the roll. but they last a long time. And I've had trouble with paper towels. I got some Scott brand paper towels here a while back. Had metal flakes in them. Of course, I discovered that after it ripped a finish up on one of my pieces. Turned out the wife had got like 4 rolls in a package. Every single one of them had little metal chips in it. See, I press in on the wax very, very hard. I put it on heavy, and when I'm taking it off, I'm pressing very hard to actually melt it and get it into the pores of the wood. So when I buff it, it's a nice solid layer. I don't know how well you can see this. That's what the outside looks like on a finished box that I do. Unfortunately, on the inside,
Gorgeous.
I'm chicken to do the inside. I'll tell you. That crack, if I'd known that crack was there, I wouldn't have turned this piece. I tell you, that's a bad one. It's the big one in the lid. I was probably within 3/16 of where this insert would be seated, and the bottom one. It's crazy. It does not show on the bottom of the box. But if you look in there,
Mhm.
oh yeah. One little catch with a scraper, and that one's going to be on the moon. But I make little ones like this. There was a gentleman on one of the groups. There was 7 young ladies that, oh, how can I say it? It's a home. God, I don't want to. For the challenged, I guess that's about as polite as I can put. I can't really talk like that. I donated a bunch of boxes to them. And I made a lot of little ones like this for their trinkets. Some of them I put little brass knobs on, which I usually turn my own little knobs here on the lathe. I think that was the highlight last year, is when I was able to give those girls. I ended up sending them 2 packages full. It was so nice to have somebody that, really liked them and appreciated them. It's like that box right there. If it was totally finished, not cracked inside, here in my, I might get $2 for it.
Oh, man.
That,
Wow.
That's awful.
yeah, I would probably be offered $2 for that, no more.
No. That thing is gorgeous.
I've got $200 bowls that I've been offered $15 for.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow, that's awful.
And see, where I live, the arts and crafts shows around here have a price point of about $10 to $15. Well, it's other than some needle cases, little needle boxes. There's not much that I have that, would be in that price range. All the big shows are a lot further south of me, Lima, Dayton, Columbus, and they're, what do they call those? Cloud production shows, where a 12 by 12 floor space costs you about $300.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
Yeah, that's pretty normal for a big city show like that.
yeah, I used to be years ago, I used to make jewelry boxes from exotic woods with little secret hiding places all inside and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be on an art and craft show circuit in Ohio and Michigan. I guess I got kind of spoiled because an average weekend was $1,000.
Wow.
Yep.
I had 1-day shows where I made $1,000. Those days are gone. Most of those shows are gone. They no longer hold them. I guess it was just something.
Well, they got saturated. The markets got saturated. There was too many of them. And
Well, yeah, I was doing one a week for 3 years. And I finally had to quit. I was putting in 18 hours a day to have more product for the next show.
Yep. Yeah, it's a death march.
Yeah. And it was starting to, I was falling asleep at the bandsaw. It was just getting ridiculous. And I had to quit. My favorite show had closed. It was called Findlay Ghost Town down in Findlay, Ohio, set in an old, they had log cabins, all that kind of stuff. And they usually had, 250 vendors. And I could go in there and set up at 8 o'clock in the morning and half my stock was gone by 9:30.
Oh my goodness.
And I used to take anywhere up to 300 of my jewelry boxes at a time. I had a lady from Marathon that used to drop $500-600 just on gifts for her bosses and stuff at Marathon Oil. So I got spoiled. I got spoiled, and now I'm rather depressed, you could say, because, I had a gallery I was in Sylvania, Ohio, not far from here. But she was getting up in age, and she retired and sold the place. And that was the only gallery anywhere that would take wood. None of the galleries in Toledo, Ohio will take wood. They don't consider it art.
Oh my goodness.
They consider it a craft.
Yeah, those Toledo people are kind of.
I did.
Let's be civil. Let's be civil.
I was going to say, I'd get in trouble if I gave my true opinion. I mean, at one time I lived in Toledo. Oh yeah.
David, I live about 2.5 hours southwest of you, and the pricing around here and the sales around here is not very well either. I do maybe 2-3 good shows a year.
Y'all might have much better luck if you were able to move it online into something like Etsy or through Facebook Marketplace or something like that. My sales on there are a lot better than they ever were at shows.
Wait, what, on Etsy?
Not on Etsy. I haven't had much luck on Etsy. Facebook is my avenue, but there are people who put a lot of time and effort into their Etsy stores, and they do pretty well too. So,
well, I've been thinking about trying it. My only fear is I'll spend more time sitting on the computer loading up pictures and answering people's questions than I will turning.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to succeed with an online presence, you have to put the time in. That's the bottom line. Whether it's Etsy or Facebook or whatever you do, you got to put the time in.
I'll be back to 18 hours a day, turn all day, and work, do computer all night.
Well, my problem, my issue is I try to do it like this because if I get too tired to turn, I can still work on the computer. And if I get too tired to turn, then I'm unsafe in the shop because I'm fatigued. But working on the computer, there's no real danger in that. You know what I mean?
I thought it was kind of cute when, well, I shouldn't say cute. I did laugh at it.
Safety Sue, when she was reading that thing about staying in the shop, avoiding people, you know, the mental attitude. Yeah, I live in my shop. I never go more than 20 minutes from home. And I do it very quickly because I don't want to be out in the public. I don't have much tolerance for stupid people. And
I understand completely.
Yes, me too.
There's plenty of them out there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you'd
by the
have-
droves.
You'd have trouble in public right now.
Yes.
I used
The
to
older I
be,
get, the more I stay at home.
yeah, I used to be a people person, but people ruined it.
mhm.
And
Oh,
there's
The
You wanna
older we
punch-
get, the older we
I
get,
re-
the less intimidation there is for life in prison.
Right.
Mhm.
I do give it serious consideration at times. Where I live, these people, they still think Lincoln's president.
Well, he's
There-
not.
Yeah, okay.
When did that change?
I wish he was president.
Right.
Would be better off.
All right,
But
David, we're gonna move on if we don't have any more questions from members here. We have some gallery lined up.
oh, okay.
Great demo, David. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, David. It was,
I hope I didn't make a fool out of myself.
Oh,
You
you're
did.
great.
Oh, it's a great
Doug
demo.
Miller's
I was
Beautiful
glad to
box.
see that machine work.
Bring up.
Great job, David.
Thank
Great
you.
job.